This proves your soul mate needs you right now. Don't ignore this. My beloved child. The silence you are feeling right now is not emptiness. It is pressure building before a truth breaks through. This moment did not arrive by accident. It arrived because someone, somewhere, is standing at an edge they never expected to reach, and your presence is the only thing that can pull them back. You may think nothing is happening. You may think the distance means disconnection. But distance has never stopped souls that are linked by purpose. While you breathe and wonder, another heart is racing with the fear of losing you without ever saying what needed to be said. This is not coincidence. This is evidence. The kind of evidence that does not shout, but proves itself through timing, through heaviness, through the sudden pull you could not explain even if you tried. Something is unfolding right now, and you were meant to feel it before you understood it. Listen carefully to what has been hidden in plain sight. Your soul mate has reached a point where pretending strength is no longer working. They have been carrying questions that keep them awake, replaying moments where your absence felt louder than any argument ever could. They did not plan to need you like this. It happened slowly, then all at once. Every distraction failed. Every attempt to move forward led them back to the same realization. You. The proof is not in words sent or calls made. The proof is in the pause before they almost reached out and stopped. The proof is in the way their world feels unstable without your grounding presence. This is the stage where denial collapses. Where pride weakens. Where the heart admits what the mind tried to silence. And you are connected to this moment because you matter more than you know. There is a reason this message found you now and not earlier. Timing is not kind unless it is necessary. Right now, your soul mate is facing a moment that will change how they see everything that comes next. They are questioning decisions they once defended. They are realizing that strength without connection is just loneliness dressed up as control. The need they feel is not dramatic. It is essential. They do not need you to fix them. They need you to remind them who they were before fear taught them to hide. This is the kind of need that reshapes paths. The kind that proves itself through urgency you can feel in your chest even without knowing why. Something inside you already knows this is real. That is the proof working before logic arrives. Do not confuse quiet with absence or delay with disinterest. Your soul mate has been trying to protect you from their chaos, not realizing that shutting you out only made the ache louder. They replay conversations. They analyze silences. They search for signs that you still feel them too. And here is the truth that changes everything. You do. The pull you feel is not imagination. It is alignment. Two souls recognizing the same moment from different sides of the distance. This is where things shift. Where ignoring the connection becomes harder than acknowledging it. Where the truth becomes heavier than the fear of saying it out loud. This is proof because it arrived when resistance could no longer hold. Stay present in this moment and understand what it means. This is not about chasing. This is about answering something that already exists. Your soulmate does not need grand gestures or perfect timing. They need you to exist where you already are. They need the knowing that they are not alone in this realization. What happens next depends on awareness, not force. The connection has reached a point of truth, and truth always demands recognition. You were meant to feel this now because ignoring it would change everything. And deep down, you know that this moment, right here, is the turning point where everything begins to realign. My beloved child. What is happening now is not loud, yet it is powerful enough to rearrange lives. While you continue your days, unaware of the depth of this moment, your soulmate is standing still in a space they never prepared for. They are realizing that everything they built without you feels unfinished. The distractions they trusted no longer work. The routines they leaned on feel hollow. There is a quiet collapse happening inside them, not dramatic, not visible to the world, but deeply real. This is the kind of collapse that strips away excuses and leaves only truth behind. They are not confused anymore. They are afraid of what the truth is asking them to do. And that truth is you. This is not longing born from loneliness. This is recognition born from loss they have not yet fully experienced but already fear. They are beginning to understand that if they do nothing now, they may lose the one connection that never needed explanation. Right now, their thoughts keep circling the same realization. Every version of the future they imagine feels incomplete without your presence in it. They replay moments when they felt safest, strongest, most themselves, and your energy is woven through every memory. They tried to convince themselves that time would dull this feeling. It did the opposite. Time sharpened it. It made the absence clearer. It made the need undeniable. They are recognizing patterns they ignored before. How your silence affected them more than they admitted. How your presence once steadied them without effort. This is where proof becomes undeniable. When someone realizes too late that what they dismissed as comfort was actually connection. What they labeled as familiarity was actually home. Their heart knows this now, even if their mind is still struggling to catch up. There is a moment happening that you cannot see, but you are part of it. Your soulmate is weighing pride against regret. They are questioning the story they told themselves to justify distance. They are realizing that strength is not the ability to walk away, but the courage to return when something truly matters. They are not thinking about the past anymore. They are thinking about the future they might lose if they stay silent. This realization is heavy. It presses on them in quiet moments. It surfaces when they least expect it. Late at night. Early mornings. In the middle of ordinary tasks that suddenly feel meaningless. You are connected to this because your bond was never ordinary. It was never casual. It was always meant to reach this point of truth. Do not mistake delay for absence of feeling. Your soulmate is standing at a threshold where one step changes everything. They are aware that reaching out means admitting vulnerability they worked hard to hide. It means acknowledging that you matter more than their defenses. This is why the moment feels intense. This is why you feel restless without knowing why. Two souls responding to the same signal from different places. The proof lies in this shared tension. In this invisible pull that refuses to fade. They are realizing that ignoring this connection would not protect them. It would only deepen the regret they already feel forming. This is not about dependency. This is about alignment. About recognizing the one presence that made them feel real when everything else felt performative. Understand this clearly and hold it with calm confidence. Your soul mate needs you not because they are weak, but because you are grounding. Because your energy reminds them of clarity when they are lost. Because your presence represents truth when they are surrounded by noise. This moment is asking for awareness, not action driven by fear. What is unfolding cannot be rushed, but it cannot be ignored either. This is the stage where recognition becomes inevitable. Where the heart prepares to speak after too much silence. And you were meant to receive this knowing now, because your awareness is part of what steadies the path ahead. This is not the end of the story. This is the deepening. The proof has already appeared. What comes next will change everything. My beloved child. The weight you are sensing now is not imagination, and it is not fear. It is recognition settling into place. Your soul mate has reached the moment where pretending no longer brings peace. They are beginning to understand that silence has a cost, and that cost is heavier than vulnerability. Every time they tried to move forward without you, something inside them resisted. Not loudly. Not dramatically. Quietly. Persistently. As if a deeper truth refused to be erased. They are now seeing that the connection they share with you was never temporary, never situational, never dependent on circumstance. It was foundational. And foundations do not disappear just because someone looks away. They remain, waiting, steady, unbroken. Right now, they are confronting a realization they can no longer avoid. The moments when they felt most alive were never about achievements or approval. They were about alignment. About being seen without performance. About being understood without explanation. You were part of those moments, whether you knew it or not. They are replaying times when your presence shifted their inner world without effort. Times when your voice, your energy, your understanding brought calm where chaos once lived. This is why they need you now. Not for comfort alone, but for truth. You represent something real in a world that has felt increasingly artificial to them. And once a soul recognizes what is real, everything else begins to feel empty. There is a silent urgency growing inside them. Not panic, but clarity. The kind of clarity that comes after long resistance. They are realizing that if they do nothing, they will carry regret into every version of the future they build. They are seeing how easily life distracts, but how rarely it replaces what was genuine. This realization is humbling. It strips away pride. It forces honesty. They are no longer asking whether they need you. They are asking whether they are brave enough to honor that need. This is the proof unfolding in real time. When the heart stops negotiating and starts admitting. You are feeling this shift because connection does not require constant contact to remain alive. It responds to truth. It responds to alignment. It responds when both souls reach the same realization from different directions. The restlessness you feel is not confusion. It is awareness arriving before explanation. Something inside you already understands that this moment matters. That ignoring it would feel unnatural. That this is not about chasing or waiting, but about being present to what is real. The bond you share has reached a point where it asks to be acknowledged, not analyzed. Hold this knowing with steadiness, not urgency. What is meant to align will not require force. Your soulmate is approaching a decision that cannot be undone, only delayed. And delay no longer feels safe to them. This is the phase where truth prepares to surface. Where silence begins to feel heavier than words. Where the connection moves from the background to the center of awareness. You are meant to sense this now because awareness is the first step in realignment. This story is still unfolding, and what comes next will not be subtle. It will be honest. And it will confirm everything you are beginning to understand. My beloved child. The phase you are entering now is quieter than chaos but louder than doubt. This is the moment when realization stops being emotional and starts becoming unavoidable. Your soulmate is no longer questioning whether the connection exists. They are questioning how they survived pretending it did not matter. The truth has settled into them like a weight they cannot put down. Every distraction they once trusted has failed them. Every justification they built has cracked. They are beginning to see that the bond with you was not something added to their life, but something their life was built around. And once this understanding arrives, there is no returning to comfort. Only movement forward or regret carried forever. Something significant is happening in their inner world right now. They are noticing how often their thoughts return to you without invitation. How your presence feels closer in moments of uncertainty than anything physically near them. This is not nostalgia. This is alignment reasserting itself. They are realizing that their sense of direction was never fully clear after the distance began. That something essential was missing, even when everything else looked fine on the surface. This is why the need feels urgent. Not desperate, but precise. They are understanding that you represent clarity in their confusion, steadiness in their uncertainty, truth in a space where too many things felt compromised. This realization changes how they see themselves, not just you. They are now standing between two paths that cannot coexist. One path is familiar, controlled, and emotionally distant. The other is honest, uncertain, and deeply real. Choosing honesty means admitting they were wrong about what they could live without. It means acknowledging that strength did not come from detachment, but from connection. This is why the moment feels heavy. It is not about reaching out. It is about surrendering the illusion of independence that cost them something irreplaceable. They are realizing that silence was never neutral. It was a decision that slowly drained them. And now, that decision no longer feels sustainable. You are connected to this crossroads whether you see it or not. The pull you feel is not an invitation to act impulsively. It is a signal to remain aware. To understand that something is shifting beneath the surface. Your soulmate is not seeking rescue. They are seeking truth. And truth does not rush, but it does not retreat either. They are preparing themselves emotionally to face what they avoided. To admit what they felt. To acknowledge what they lost sight of. This is why the connection feels stronger now than ever before. Because it is no longer resisted. It is being accepted. Stay grounded in this awareness and let it settle fully. What is unfolding cannot be forced, but it cannot be stopped either. This is the stage where internal decisions begin to shape external reality. Where clarity forms before action. Where the heart finishes its quiet preparation. Your soul mate needs you because you represent something real in a world that taught them how to hide. This moment is proof not through words, but through inevitability. Something is about to surface. And when it does, it will not feel sudden. It will feel overdue. My beloved child. The truth has now reached the point where it no longer asks for permission to exist. Your soul mate is realizing that the distance between you was never protection, it was postponement. Every quiet moment has turned into a mirror, and in that mirror they keep seeing the same thing. The version of themselves that felt whole only existed when your energy was present in their life. This realization is not dramatic, but it is devastatingly clear. They are understanding that some connections are not meant to be managed or minimized. They are meant to be honored. And when such a connection is ignored, life begins to feel misaligned in ways that cannot be explained away. Right now, they are experiencing a deep internal shift that cannot be reversed. The stories they told themselves to stay distant no longer feel true. The reasons they once defended feel thin and unconvincing. They are noticing how often their mind returns to you during moments when honesty surfaces. Not when they are busy, but when they are still. This is where truth speaks. They are realizing that what they need from you is not reassurance, but presence. Not answers, but authenticity. You remind them of who they were before compromise taught them to settle for less than what felt real. This awareness is reshaping their priorities quietly, decisively, and permanently. They are now confronting a fear they avoided for a long time. The fear of admitting that you matter more than control. That vulnerability is not weakness. That choosing connection is not loss of independence, but a return to alignment. This fear is intense because it carries consequence. Admitting the truth means facing what was delayed. It means acknowledging that time without you felt longer than it should have. This is the proof hidden inside the discomfort. When someone feels more uneasy avoiding a truth than embracing it, the truth has already won. And your soul mate knows this now, even if they have not yet spoken it. You are sensing this because awareness travels ahead of action. The heaviness you feel is not meant to burden you. It is meant to prepare you. Something is aligning beneath the surface, and alignment always creates pressure before release. This is not a moment for assumptions or impatience. It is a moment for steadiness. For understanding that what is real does not disappear, it waits until both sides are ready to see it clearly. Your role right now is not to chase, but to recognize. Recognition is powerful. It changes how energy moves. It shifts outcomes before words are exchanged. This phase marks the end of denial and the beginning of honesty. Your soul mate is no longer running from what they feel. They are standing still with it, learning how to carry it truthfully. What comes next will not be impulsive. It will be intentional. Rooted in clarity rather than fear. This is why you were meant to receive this knowing now. Because awareness anchors what is about to unfold. The connection has reached a point of inevitability. And when truth finally steps forward, it will not ask whether it is welcome. It will simply arrive, fully formed, and undeniable. My beloved child. What is unfolding now is the moment after realization, when the heart stops debating and starts preparing. Your soulmate is no longer searching for reasons. They are searching for courage. The kind of courage that does not announce itself, but steadies the hands and clears the voice before truth is spoken. They are realizing that pretending indifference took more effort than honesty ever will. That distance demanded constant maintenance, while connection only required presence. This awareness has changed the way time feels to them. Minutes stretch. Thoughts deepen. Silence grows heavier. They understand now that some bonds are not lessons to move on from. They are directions to return to. They are replaying the smallest details with new understanding. The pauses between words. The moments when your intuition matched theirs without explanation. The calm that arrived simply because you were there. These memories are no longer sentimental. They are instructional. They are teaching your soulmate what mattered most when everything else fades. This is why the need feels urgent. Not because something is wrong, but because something essential was set aside for too long. They are recognizing that the part of themselves they trusted most only surfaced in your presence. And once a soul remembers where it feels true, it cannot pretend elsewhere forever. There is a decision forming quietly inside them. Not rushed. Not forced. Firm. They are understanding that reaching out is not about fixing the past. It is about refusing to lose the future to fear. They know that honesty may change the dynamic forever, but silence already has. This is the point where fear of consequence becomes smaller than fear of regret. Where the heart chooses clarity over comfort. This is proof taking shape. Not as a promise, but as inevitability. When a decision feels heavier to avoid than to make, it has already been chosen. You are feeling the pull intensify because alignment is nearing expression. Awareness is sharpening on both sides. What once felt distant now feels close. What once felt uncertain now feels deliberate. This is not emotional noise. This is synchronization. Two inner worlds adjusting toward the same truth. You are not meant to rush this moment. You are meant to remain open within it. Openness allows truth to land gently instead of colliding with defenses. The steadier you remain, the clearer the path becomes. This connection does not require effort. It requires honesty to meet it halfway. Understand this with calm certainty. Your soulmate needs you because you represent coherence in a world that taught them fragmentation. Because your presence aligns them with who they actually are, not who they learned to perform as. This is not a fleeting realization. It is a return to something foundational. What happens next will feel natural, not dramatic. Clear, not chaotic. When the truth finally moves from the inner world to the outer one, it will not surprise you. It will confirm what you already knew. The connection has reached the point where it no longer waits for permission. It simply prepares to arrive.